Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. You are always most welcome. Well today, wow, I've got quite an impressive one of these diorama sets. They always give it the DS, I've learned that's what it means, DS is diorama set. So it's the Before the Assault in Eastern Ukraine 2022. So quite a topical subject. And the kit features, I should say first of all, it's DS35, 35th scale, 21, so it's kit 21 in other words. So DS3521, and the kit includes basically, it's the late version of the Kozak 2, the one that's got the gun mounted on the top. Comes with the female drone operators and their drones, and over here we've got the male soldiers that look like they're getting ready for the assault, and we've got the sort of the recon spotter team and the gunner on top. So you're getting a lot in this one. It's one of these kits that's retailing. Again, I'm taking a bit of a guess here from memory. I think it's around about the £65 mark, something around there, £65–70. But there's a lot of plastic in there. You've got a big vehicle. You've got basically 3 sets of figures as well. So it's actually quite a good buy, good value package. So let's have a look at what we've got. On the side it says, includes the Kozak 2 armoured vehicle with drivers and machine gunner, a soldier with binoculars. Now that having the driver, I've got to say that's good, isn't it? This is what the feedback from some of you that have been the viewers and keen modelers do keep pointing out that, not exclusively ICM, but a lot of kits now are coming out with no figures, no driver, no pilot. This solves that problem in spades because this time you get everything you need. So you get the special operations forces soldiers and the FPV drone operators, which are ladies. The set allows for creating a diorama scene depicting preparation for assault operations. There are, listen to this, there are 449 parts for the Kozak 2 Ukrainian MRAP class armoured vehicle, and there are a further 199 parts for assembly of 9 figures of the Ukrainian soldiers. So let's get into that straight away. By the way, I can hear one of my neighbours has got the gardeners around, so I might have to be quick because it's going to get noisy, I can tell, any second. I've just realised what day it is, and it's gardening day, I think. Right, let's have a look at this then. Try and get yourself in here. It's very well packaged as usual. Lots of protection. And it requires just a little bit of patience to open it. There we go, we're in. Right! Oh, sorry, I forgot to show you on the side. Yes, here we go, we've got the full set shown on the side. Sorry about the noise in the background. So on the side we have got the Kozak 2 MRAP with the gun on top, mounted on the top, complete with the digital camo. Then we've got our Special Forces team, 4 figures. We then have, a bit of glue I think. We've then got the 2 female drone operators, and then we've got the, I think he's the commander and spotter, the gunner and the driver. So this is actually quite an impressive array, really, as a diorama set. Perhaps one of the better ones in terms of the way they've all been added together as a complete package, you know. So let's have a look at what we've got. So we've got a set of figures here. We have got the second set of figures, which I think is the combat team. It's got all the weapons with them. Special Forces team. Then we've got the... Now, I've got to be honest with you. There's no point in me going through the Kozak 2 because I've already done it. I think I've done it twice. I've certainly done it once. There wouldn't be any value in it. The only thing that's changed, and this has got a little tiny bit of photo etch added. Apart from that, it's everything we've seen. So what I'll do, I'll include over there at the end. I'll include the link to my review of the Kozak 2, which was brilliant. I think it got 9.5, 10 out of 10. I can't quite remember it. I know it got very good ratings. It was excellent. So I'm going to sort of focus on the figures, if you don't mind, because I'm not sure there's a huge value in going through the same old ground that we've seen before. Plus, judging by the sound and the noise from the gardener chap, I think we might be struggling here a bit anyway. I'm talking about bad timing. He just starts as I started, didn't he? I mean, I could shut it off and film it later, but trust me, it'll get worse rather than better. So, these are the two that we're really interested in. The Kozak 2, I'll just show you briefly, it's got the instructions there. You've got all your digital camo here, which is really nicely done, as we've seen before, and then you've got all your typical white crosses for the Ukrainian markings here. So we'll skip by that because it's not quite so exciting, shall we say. Now, I know we actually did see the drone operators. So what they've done here is they've actually combined two kits into the instructions. So we've got, lost my controller. We've got here the yes, well, I've had to actually have a break in this video because the noise of the gardener next door became intolerable. Trust me, you can probably tell it was getting a little bit out of hand, and it got worse. So I've actually had to. I'm now filming this about an hour and a half later. Anyway, we'll go back to where we were. So I was just about to show you the drone operators. Which is a nice lady drone operators in the Armed Forces of Ukraine in this particular set. So we have got, if you remember, the original set also had one girl was taking a selfie with a phone, and the other girl was holding a puppy. But these are just, there's four of them. So these are just the actual drone operators themselves. They're a bit more serious, you might say, this time. So this is because they're out in combat in the field and they're setting the drones off. So we've got these two girls. One's actually operating the remote, and one's responsible for actually launching the drone on the left, as you can see. It shows these kind of instructions for it is separate here. So you've got your drone box. This is like a DJI Mavic type of drone, isn't it? And you can see it's got the camera on it, which is the part A here, part B1. And then you've got all your actual rotor blades. I always get a bit scared when I look at these the pixelated uniforms. I don't mind it so much on aircraft. That's bad enough. But when you get at this scale, the pixel uniform, it's quite difficult to actually reproduce that. That's not going to be an easy thing. I don't know if somebody does a mask set or paint mask set. I mean, it would be quite handy to have a sort of a mask set where it's got little holes in it, and you can actually just paint it that way. Anyway, that's the lady drone operators. Sorry, I'm just looking at the back. This has completely taken me by surprise. On the back of these instructions, I'll come back to the other guys in a minute. On the back of these instructions, we've got a couple of like addendum parts here, which seems to include for the Kozak 2. It includes the climbing step ladders that go up to the gun mounting, the gun turret, so to speak, on the roof of the armoured car, or MRAP. So that's interesting. I just didn't expect that to be there. It's strange that they've included it with this. Anyway, we have got, of course, a driver. This is what makes it a bit special, this set, and really adds to something that was really missing in the original set, was these figures. So that's corrected now with the driver. We've got looks like probably the commander who's observing with his binoculars. And then we've got the gunner. He's the chap that's climbed up that ladder we've just seen, complete with his massive, I think it's a 20mm cannon on the top. It's quite impressive stuff. So that is one set. So why don't we look at those now, so we don't confuse the two things. Why don't we actually look at that set now, which I think is in this bag here. And that might be the easiest way to proceed, rather than confuse two different sets. Treat them as separates. I shall open this. They're very noisy, crinkly bags. I must apologise at this thing. Haven't got that many of them today. So here we have got. That's the drone operator. Sorry, that's the soldiers, and that's the drone operators. That's the soldiers. That's the soldiers. There. So what we've got here, we've got the lady drone operators, I think I'm right in saying. I just have to refer back to this again, just to check. B. A. B. Sorry, this is just a little bit confusing the way they've done it. A1. Okay, so this is the female drone operators. Beg your pardon. Yeah, you can kind of see a slightly more feminine-looking face, perhaps. So these are the lady operators of the drones, and saying that, I'm not convinced I'm right actually, because he's got that's A125. Yeah, it is. They've kind of mixed up two different sets here on the sprue, which is really confusing. So that's definitely a female with her hand extended for the drone. Yeah. So this hand is the drone, the lady's hand that's Soldier's got her hand extended for the drone to lift off. So that's definitely a lady soldier, and without being too personal about it, yeah, there's slight difference in the anatomy, let's just say, leave it at that, in the torso, a little bit fuller, shall we say, a fuller figure. And then we've got the legs here, and again, without going into too many details, being too personal, a little bit more of a shapely figure for this particular soldier, so it's definitely the lady. But what threw me is they've got several heads on the sprue, and that's really thrown me. So it is, you've got to be very careful and pay attention to your part call out, make sure you get the right heads on the right figures. But yeah, that is, you can see the lady's hand there. Well, you could see it if it focused. The lady's hand there, which is the drone operator letting the drone go. And then you've got different headwear. You've got the cap style, or you've got the combat helmets, which are very nice. You've got the ammo pouches there. And then on this side, this is the other lady drone operator, I believe. Yeah, because she's sitting down. She's squatting on the ground, sitting on the ground. She's the one that's operating the remote control drone with the handset. You see look at the gloved hand, isn't that good? Gosh. And again, the ammo pouches. Look at those, aren't those nice? Very, very good. Again, gloved hand. Really, really beautiful, aren't they? Such detail, you know. Again, you see the face. That's a lady's face, I think. Yeah, that's definitely a lady's face. Female face with a cap. Yeah, so quite a lot going on there. And so on this side, you've actually got what's clearly one of the men. I can tell only because he's got the sort of strap round his chin, and that's definitely from the other set. So they've got a bit of a mix-up here, the way that they produced them. So again, this is on the other sprue now. So this is, again, they've got the straps, chin straps on, because this is the Special Forces guys that are about to go into combat. And in actual fact, this is the driver. You can tell by the legs, the leg position. This is the guy who's driving the Kozak 2. And there's the flak jacket, which is really nice, isn't it? Bulletproof jacket. And you can see here the actual seat and the way his legs will sort of sit into that seat, mould into it. And then you've got the hands there that are going to be driving and holding onto the steering wheel. There's a set of boots as well, which are quite impressive. I mean, again, the detail here is just exquisite. Absolutely brilliant. Turn that upside down. Absolutely fantastic, aren't they? And again, you've got all this sort of webbing, and the combat flak jackets are on. And you've got the face, and then the combat military helmet. Very, very nice, that set. And then we've got we've got duplications here, but we've got the gunner then. Sorry, we've got the chap here. This is the chap with his binoculars. This is the commander. So this is on a separate, smaller sprue. This is the commander who's doing the observation on the enemy. And you can see there that he's got his face and his arms, combat helmet again, and look at this wonderful pair of binoculars. And again, the detail on those is absolutely brilliant. It would be if we could see it. There we go. Those binoculars are fantastically done. Do they actually have a little bit of indentation? I'm just going to check this with my glasses again for your benefit. Yeah, they're not actually a slide molded as such, but they are pretty good. That pair of binoculars, I think that's pretty special the way they've done it. And again, you've got ammunition pouches, and a lot of detail. You can see they've got things in their pockets, on the leg pockets on the trousers. Very, very good indeed. So that's one figure. Then on the other side, you've got. Just trying to figure out which chap this is. Is this the gunner? This is the gunner. Okay. So this is the guy that's operating the gun. On the top, again, similar outfit, similar gear, ammunition pouches, etc. You can see by his hand positions that it's holding the gun and the turret. And then underneath, finally, we've got, going back to the ladies with the drones, here we've got the drones themselves. So we've got all the parts of the drones, we've got the case, and we've got here, this is the actual remote control screen, and then a couple of AK-47Us or AK-74, they might be actually the later, AK-74, yeah, later versions. So there we go. So that was a little bit hard to follow actually, but I think you just got to be a little bit careful when you've got a lot of figures like you've got in this set. So this set contains 9 figures in total, so you've got to make sure you put the right heads and the right arms with the right torsos, etc, etc, because it would be very easy to get lost and get in trouble like I almost did there. They're almost about it. Yeah, it's get them back in. But there's a lot of stuff in that bag alone, and that's the smaller of the 2 bags if I'm honest. So that was quite a lot to cover. But those drones are beautiful, aren't they, as well? And the way they've got the sort of women's faces, that they do look slightly more feminine. They've done it very well. So that's that one. That's one pack. So that's the drone operators and the crew for the Kozak. Then we've got the Special Forces set. So here, zoom you in again. Quietly came, quietly went. This is the Special Forces. Nasty. Sneaking in and sneaking out and causing a lot of mayhem in between, of course, a bit like the SAS, isn't it? A similar idea. So, all their weapons are down below. I don't know if it actually tells you what the weapons are. Now it doesn't actually, but if you remember, if you think back to my Weapons of the Ukraine AFU video from last month, that was very interesting, and that had a lot of these weapons. And I'm trying to remember what they all were called, and I'm struggling to remember, but some of you will remember. You can always refer back to my video, because it really does detail them very well. And then on the rear, because it doesn't give a lot here, on the rear we've got these guys. So we've got I think they've got some night vision equipment here, and they've got body cams that are on the helmets. They've got silence. These are all got silencers, these guys. So this is where the quietly came, quietly went comes from. They've all got silenced guns. Apart from, I think, this chap, I think he shoots when all else is lost. He'll open up with the heavy caliber gun. It's a proper assault gun, that is. Heavy machine gun. Again, a multicam, head cam, all sorts of different multicams. They've got multiple cameras so that they can actually review their battle footage as well. Here you've got the pixelated, very tricky to reproduce camo. And yeah, looks very impressive, and they've all got like balaclavas on covering their faces again, so that reduces the breath, their breath can't be seen when they breathe out, and also it reduces their skin tone in low light. They can't be seen as easily. They're camouflaged, disguised almost. Right, so let's see what we've got here. 3 sprues here. We've got 2 that are identical, which are the weapons set, which is, I think, very similar to what we had in that set last month. It is one of the sprues from last month, because it's got a Lord rocket. So let us we'll do that last. I'll do the figures first, I think. So here we go, and you can see they all look a bit like bandits because they've all got these balaclavas or sort of scarves across their faces, so they can't be identified or spotted. And they've got this beautifully well, haven't they? Look at that face with the scarf or bandana across it. They've done that really well, haven't they? Ammunition pouches. You can see again they've got lots of things in their pockets, probably got knives in there and all sorts of weapons, additional weapons. And then you've got the hands here. Really, really good. And then moving across on this side, sorry, I didn't look at the torso. So the torso, there it is, with their flak jackets on, and so you saw the hands, they're really beautifully done, aren't they? Sculptured the fingers and everything, absolutely amazing. Again, I'm just going to get my viewer out, my Optivisor, and have a closer look at this. Let's try and match what you can see. They don't go so detailed as you get much in the way of fingernails, but that would be asking like, what? Oh, they've got gloves on. They're like me. They've got gloves on. That's why. Ah! Yeah. Okay. Of course. Again, for low visibility. Yeah. I thought there was something strange about them. Okay. So there we go. So in this one you've got like quite a lot of torso, including some lower torso. Here it's just the upper torso. He's one that's squatting down on the ground. You can see his legs here. And they're looking at the, I think, GPS coordinates, trying to find out where the enemy is. And then over on this side we've got a guy who's looking at the Jeep. That's actually the hand here. That's the hand on the GPS unit, I think it is. And that's probably, or a communication device. Maybe a sat-nav, a sat phone probably. Probably using GPS to find out where their position is relative to the enemy positions. And then sort of similar over here, and again you've got some really good detail here. Look at this on the legs. We've got some additional sort of strapping and bulging pockets with ammunition in them. More rounds for the automatic weapons. And the hand in a position that it's holding the automatic weapon there. We've got another face with the balaclava. I mean, they're really well sculpted, these. They look really, even to the naked eye, they look absolutely amazing, to be honest. I think that once you get these painted up, they're really going to pop like mad. It's going to be fantastic. And then, what else we got? We've got some more hands here, holding the weapons. Let's see that side as well. Fantastic. So there we are. Absolutely amazing. What a really nice set that is, actually. Really nice set. So you've got two that are kind of similar in some respects. You've got two short torsos, those are the guys that are crouching down. And then you've got two longer torsos, and these are the ones that are standing up. But everything about them is just so crisply moulded, isn't it? Those pouches are absolutely fantastically done. You know, I mean, this is Samyar standard again, isn't it? It really is. Very, very nice. And very, very contemporary, obviously, with what's going on at the moment in the world. So here's the final sprue, which is there's two of these, in fact. So this has got, actually, if you look very carefully, where my finger is here, that's a Law's rocket, a bazooka, short bazooka. And then you've got these AK-74s here. And then this is the one I can never remember the name of, the Ukrainian one, as a silencer. It's gone, I can't remember it now, but you've seen my previous video. And then you've got this heavy caliber, like a BAR style heavy caliber machine gun, which is the only one that hasn't got a silencer on that they're actually using. Because most of them are all using these ones here with the silencers on. And then you've got... you have actually got a revolver. I think it's a Glock, I think, that one. And then you've got your helmets here. Combat helmets. And there's a bipod. Just here. Bipod. That's for the heavy caliber machine gun. And then you've got these night vision equipment, body cams and night vision cams. I think it's a night vision monocular, that actually. So quite a lot of interesting equipment, and you can actually see, if you look very closely here at the top, these are daggers. They're actually carrying a dagger, like a commando knife style dagger. Aren't those amazing? Down here it looks like a short bladed knife. It's probably not for combat use. I think that's more likely to be for cooking or whatever, carving up your apple. But there's some quite impressive pieces there. These two here, I forgot to mention actually, these two. These are actually holstered pistols. I think they were Berettas, weren't they? The holstered ones, if I remember correctly. So there we have it. That's quite an assortment, isn't it? Lots, and there's two of these sprues, as I say, twin. So yeah, there's quite a lot of weapons, and quite like the figures. They're very well done as usual. Very, very finely detailed. You know, the detail in the flak jackets that they've got on, it's all replicated, reproduced beautifully well. And of course, you get the Kozak too, with its turreted gun as well, on top of that. So what do I think? Well, what do I not like about it? Nothing. There's nothing not to like really at all, really. I'm just going to have a look at the instructions on the Kozak before we call it a day, because I just wanted to get my head around, wondering why they felt the need to do that extra instruction. All the huge decals come out. See, it's alright on the vehicle, you've got digital camo decals, so you don't have to worry about painting them. It's just not an issue at all. But on the figures, that's a different matter altogether. Yeah, it's like an amendment, isn't it, that sheet? An amendment sheet at the end. I think the idea is, I'll tell you what it is. Yeah, okay. Because the figure is standing up there, the hatch is open, so you then need to see the ladder, which I don't think they provide. Do they? Do you see a ladder on the interior? Don't remember it. Let me just check for you to be absolutely certain. I think it's like a collapsing extendable ladder, so that it's like lightweight and it's not in the way. Yeah, that's what it is. So I'm talking about. So I'm talking about this slight amendment, and it's all to do with the fact that if you're going to have the soldier in the turret, it doesn't really explain it, with open hatch, it kind of tells you there, I suppose. So if it's got the open hatch, you're going to have this foldable ladder, and then you have it open, and the hatch is open like that, and then of course you have your man stood up there, and that's the idea. It would have been helpful if they'd shown the figure standing up there. I think that would have made it so much more obvious straight away, but anyway, we got there in the end. So that's very good that they've added that. It's something additional to the actual kit that you've seen before, so that's very good. So there we are. So you've got an entire Kozak 2 with its gun and its turret, in addition to all those parts. This is a kit now, I think it's around about the £70–75 mark. Not a cheap kit, but there's a lot of plastic in it, that's why. I don't know if it actually says how many parts there are in this kit. We'll have a look. But there's a lot. Yeah, there is a lot. 400, no, it did say at the beginning. 449 parts for the Kozak 2 and 199. So basically, near as damn it to 650 parts in that box. So that's quite a lot of plastic. So it's not an unreasonable asking price. And I'm going to give it 10 out of 10. Not because it was provided to me without charge, and not because it's Ukraine and all the rest of it. It's just beautiful. You know, the finite details of the drone, you know, that's very small, and that's really well done. And you got the female figures, just got that subtle differences, and all these special forces guys with the weapons. It's brilliant, honestly. 10 out of 10. Well done, ICM. Well deserved. Very clever that you brought this together in this way. A perfect diorama set. If somebody wants to do a Ukraine diorama, you know, you can do it with that. And very pertinent to what's going on at the moment, of course. So there we go. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you'll give me 10 out of 10 with a like, a thumbs up. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you found it interesting and maybe inspired you. And don't forget, you can buy, if you already have the Kozak 2, you don't need to go rushing out and buying this set. You can buy these guys separately. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about these three, sorry. I think you can though. But certainly the girls you can buy separately with their drones, and certainly the Quietly Came, Quietly Went Special Forces team, they're all available separately. So, for not much money at all, frankly. So be aware of that. There we go. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and ding the notification bell if you haven't done that. And if you have done it, some people are still having problems getting notified. You must ding the all option, not personalised, which is completely misleading. No, forget personalised, ding all on my channel and you'll get notified as soon as I upload another video and it's scheduled. Hope I'll see you all again soon. Thank you for your time watching the video. In the meantime, until next time, take care of yourselves. Thanks for your time. And until next time, thanks a lot and bye for now.